Hey guys, this is Snackattack8. Welcome back to Let's Play Nothing, because this is not a Let's Play video. This is a review video. Woo! Of The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening DX. Now you may be wondering why I'm making a review, and I can't answer that question. I just thought, maybe it would be fun to make one. And if you like these, I'd certainly love to do more reviews. So, leave that in the comments or whatever. You also may be wondering why I'm why I'm reviewing a game that came out 12 years ago, and that's because before recently I'd never actually played Link's Awakening. This is the one Zelda game that I'd never played, and just having played it, I decided I really wanted to do a review of it from the perspective of someone who doesn't have that sort of nostalgia feeling that you have from games you played when you were a kid. So yeah, that's about that. Alright, Link's Awakening DX, released for the Gameboy Color in 1998, and it's a full-color remake of the original 1993 Game Boy game, Link's Awakening. It was developed and published by Nintendo, which is why you know it's good. Alright, so, I guess I'll talk about the plot first. Now, the plot in Zelda games usually has one or two formulas. Either Ganon imprisons Zelda and does something evil to the world, or someone else does that, and you find out halfway through the game that Ganon is controlling that villain, and it's sort of the same thing. Again, this isn't a bad thing, because, the plot isn't really the main focus of Zelda games, but it's nice to see something original, and that's what Link's Awakening is. It's an original plot. Link gets shipwrecked on this Koholint Island, and he's found by a girl named Marin and her father Terran. And so he soon finds out that the only way to get off this island is to awaken a giant creature called the Windfish, which is asleep on a mountain inside an egg. Now, to awaken the Windfish, he needs to collect 8 magical instruments, which he needs to play to awaken it. But these instruments are being guarded by the Windfish's nightmares, which have sort of become reality, and they're guarding the instruments so that you can not wake the Windfish up. And what I really liked about this story is that halfway through the game, there becomes this sort of mystery element to it, where you want to get to the end, but once you get to the end, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what'll happen at the end of the game, and that's something that you don't see too much, because normally the end of Zelda games is you save the princess and that's it. And this works with the gameplay. I think this is when Zelda stories are the best. It's compelling, and you want to figure out what's going to happen in the end, and so that gives you more incentive to keep playing. So yeah, the story is different, and it works. It works. All right, so now we're going to talk about the gameplay, and this is really why you're playing the game. You're playing the game for the gameplay. It makes sense. Fortunately, the gameplay for this game is awesome. And it's so remarkable that it can stand up to A Link to the Past before it, and even games that come after it, like Ocarina of Time, for example. And this is a handheld game, and not only a handheld game, but the first handheld Zelda game. And it's just so awesome that they got it exactly right. I guess I'm gonna go over the dungeons. There are 8 of them. They're all good traditional type dungeons. There's sort of a learning curve. The first 4 are kind of easy. The 5th and 6th ones are a little harder, and the 7th and 8th dungeons are really going to test you. They're really difficult. And I love it because it's like you don't see this enough anymore. Where you'll get to a point and you'll realize, oh, I got to go back. I don't have what I need, and you'll have to comb the entire dungeon, not just have it sitting right there in a door away. Comb the whole thing for a bombable wall, and it'll be so frustrating. But then once you figure it out, you feel so good. You get that Zelda-y feel, like, oh, I'm so smart, look at me. And that's just great. That's what I love about the series. There is an extra dungeon in the DX version. It's not too great. It's got some kind of unique puzzles dealing with the whole color thing. And you get a cool item from finishing it, but that's about all there is there. Side quests, you've got your heart pieces, which are scattered all over the island. Some of them are very well hidden. Some of them you'll need items that you get in the 7th dungeon, but you can see them when you're getting to the 1st or 2nd one. And you got to remember where everything is. And there's also these secret seashells that you can collect, and sort of, they kind of are the same thing as heart pieces. You get a reward for all of them. you got that too. You've got a trading sequence, which is the first time they've ever done something like this, where you get an item from one character, and you'll give it to another character for another item, but you've got to remember who wants what, and just kind of the dialogue, and it's just this whole thing really combines to be an awesome experience. Alright, so now we're going to go over the graphics, which, I mean, it's hard for me to talk about the graphics from a game that's so old. They certainly are dated, but I still enjoyed them. I still liked looking at them. I guess for me, graphics isn't too big of a deal, but yeah, and for the time that this game was made, they're great. They're awesome. Now, I'm also going to say that if you haven't played this game before and you're going to play this game, do it in color. Do the DX version, because the colors for the DX version are so vibrant. They make the whole game so much better. Like I've seen well, I haven't actually played the original one that was just in black and white, but I've seen it, and I mean the colors just transforms everything. It's so much better. It just makes the whole game so much better. So I think that's that for that. The music for this game is also awesome. And it's kind of different because, I mean, they give you like for example, when you're in the overworld, they give you the Zelda theme, but they kind of transform it. They kind of put a twist on it. And I think that's how you can best describe most of the music in this game. It's kind of different. It's kind of got a different feel than the other Zelda games, and this is understandable because Link, he isn't in Hyrule in this one. He's on Koholint, and it's just kind of a dreamy sort of different aspect, and it really works for it. And again, for the Game Boy, the music is so impressive. Like a certain track that pretty much every Zelda fan knows, Tal Tal Heights, or Mount Tamaranch, or whatever you want to call it. I mean that's got to be one of the top 5 Zelda songs of all time, and it's so great. And even the dungeons have catchy tunes. I mean, some of them are a little repetitive and kind of annoying, but yeah, even the dungeons have some good songs in them. So yeah, all around awesome music. All right, so now that I've talked about all the great stuff in this game, I gotta address the flaws, and there are a couple flaws. There are only a few for me. One of them being is the save system, which there's nothing wrong with the actual system, because it makes sense. You save your game and you come back out wherever you last left off, like whatever last building you went into or dungeon, and that works. That's good. The problem is actually getting to the save screen, in which you have to press A, B, select, and start at the same time. And I was playing this on a Game Boy Advanced, just for the best sort of picture. But I don't know if this is a problem for anyone else, but for some reason it would take me like 5 or 6 tries just to get to that save screen by pressing all the buttons at the same time, because I mean, for some reason I would do it and it just kind of wouldn't work. And especially if I had bombs or something on my B button or A button, and I would press them all at the same time, and I would just end up wasting a bomb or something. But I mean, that's just a minor annoyance. I don't think it takes too much away from the gameplay, and again, I'm not sure if that was just my problem or an actual problem. And then another thing that I didn't like too much is that in Zelda games, I like to break everything, and having to equip my power bracelet every single time I wanted to lift a pot or a rock kind of wore on my patience. And I realized that this is on a Game Boy, and you only have 4 buttons. And there's no way that they could assign another button to pick up rock or something like that. But I'm not gonna say it didn't bother me, because it did. But that's really all I can think of for it flaw wise. All right, so to sum it all up, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, or Link's Awakening DX, is an amazing game. And I would definitely put this in my top 5 Zelda games of all time, and having just now played it with no nostalgia added. And I mean, it's so influential. It's iconic. It's the quintessential handheld Zelda game. And having played the future ones like the Oracle games or the Minish Cap, you can just see that those just wouldn't be like the same without having this game come first. And I mean, everything that's there that's traditional is great, and all the new stuff like trading sequences. I mean, I can't even count how many other Zelda games have done that in some way or form. And I mean, that was introduced here, and I mean, it's just it's a great game. I guess I'm gonna go with a number score here and rate this game a 9 out of 10. It's a great game. If you haven't played it, play it, and if you haven't played it, then you know what I'm talking about. So I'll see you next time. I'll definitely see you in the next Let's Play video. Maybe another one of these. That's up for you guys to decide. So see you later. This is Snackattack8's signing off.